Strikes continue around the country as lawmakers work to prevent a government shutdown. And in sports, Ohio linebacker takes home award for MAC East Player of the Week. Newswatch starts right now. An annual aerobatic show gave community members some entertainment in the sky this weekend. Good evening, I'm Reese Thompson. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. The rain held off just in time for a successful 52nd annual Vinton County Air Show yesterday. The Vinton County Airport was filled with local organizations and vendors for people to check out, including a performance from the Vinton County Marching Band. The family-friendly show had numerous stunt planes that created G-forces needed to perform different jaw-dropping tricks in the air, such as the Cobra maneuver, where the plane is completely vertical, as well as inside and outside loops. The event also showcased skydiving and a host who hyped up the crowd for the various performances. One mom of a Vinton County Marching Band member, Amy White, talks about how this event is a fun change of scenery.
My son's been in marching band, and so it's fun to see the kids come do that. It gives them a different experience than somebody that may only see them at the football games.
The air show has remained free for years with the help of volunteers, and those organizing the event are very appreciative. The week-long search for the man accused of attacking a Reedsville woman is over. Meigs County Sheriff Scott Fitch says the West Virginia medical examiner positively identified the body of a man found in the Ohio River as Christopher Cowdery. Cowdery was wanted by Meigs County deputies for attempted murder, second-degree felonious assault, and strangulation. An autopsy of Cowdery by the medical examiner found no evidence of foul play. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announces 3 former executive employees at the Columbus Zoo are being indicted. The indictment was filed in the Delaware County Common Pleas Court today. The former chief executive officer, the former marketing director, and the former chief financial officer all played a role in defrauding the zoo of over $2 million. The indictment alleges the 3 former executives have been manipulating check authorization forms and credit cards for over a decade for their personal benefits. Delaware County prosecuting attorney Melissa Scheifel states the Columbus Zoo is a jewel and hopes the investigation will ensure the zoo will exist for many years to come. An update on the Ohio State representative facing criminal charges. Representative Bob Young is pleading not guilty to 2 new charges. Young is charged with menacing by stalking and violating a protection order. According to court documents, the representative knowingly caused a person to believe he would cause physical harm or mental distress to them. He is also charged with domestic violence, assault, and violating a protection order. All 5 charges stem from a fight between Young and his wife on July 7th. Young has already announced the plans on resigning October 2nd. We've seen some sprinkles in the sky the past few days with rain. Now, Emily, is that going to keep happening throughout the week?
Well, fortunately for us, we have some high pressure that's starting to move through that's going to clear things up just beautifully. Now, if we take a look at our live radar outside, we're looking at College Green right now, and we've seen a lot of activity going on across campus, a lot of both students and a lot of squirrels as well, really taking advantage of this beautiful weather. Right now in Athens, we're taking a look. It's about 71 outside with some mildly overcast skies. We've seen some pockets of sunshine, some pockets of clouds as we move throughout the day today. Now, yesterday we had a cold front that pushed through that sparked up a little bit of rain in the morning, leaving us with a lot of cloudy weather throughout the day. So if you're staying home watching any NFL games like I was, we really enjoyed the gloomy weather to stay inside. And we also have a lot of high pressure beginning to make its way in from the north. That's going to help clear things up for the rest of this week. Now, we also have a lot of temperatures that lowered a little bit from that cold front, but they're going to start picking up later this week. Right now it's about 73 in Athens and Zanesville and Newark, about 72 in Lancaster, so about uniform conditions all around. Now tonight we'll drop to an overnight low of 47 with mostly clear skies, and the part of the reason we're having these big drop in temperatures is because we're having these clear skies, and I'll talk about that more in my full forecast, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Back over to you, Reese.
Thanks, Emily. West State Street in Athens will be closed tomorrow for emergency repairs. The street will be closed between Miller and Schaefer Street starting at 8 a.m. until the sanitary sewer repairs are completed. There will be no through or emergency traffic. Motorists are asked to avoid the area. Aviation is on its way back to the Ohio River Valley with an electric plane facility opening in Dayton. According to the Associated Press, an agreement between Ohio and Joby Aviation Incorporated is expected to create 2,000 jobs. The facility will be located at Dayton International Airport, in the same city the Wright brothers were born in. The air taxi developers designed an aircraft which they intend to be used aerial ride sharing by 2025. Construction is expected to begin in 2024 and production is slated for 2025. Parts of Salt Fork State Park and other parcels of state land could be auctioned off to gas and oil companies for fracking today, but environmental groups suspect fraud. The Oil and Gas Land Management Commission met this morning to review nominations for fracking rights of the pieces of public land. The commission has 60 days to decide the fate of each parcel. Save Ohio Parks and Environmental Group is urging commissioners to hold off the decisions until Attorney General Jave Yost investigates over 1,000 pro-fracking emails and determine which are fraudulent. This is according to the Columbus Dispatch. Meanwhile, gas prices remain high across the country as the summer travel season starts to wrap up. CNN reports high gas prices are here to stay. While senior White House aides met this week to determine policy options, the final decision was to wait and watch to see if prices fall in the autumn. After Saudi Arabia extended production cuts, experts predict the pain at the pump will continue to rise. The U.S. Department of the Interior World Heritage proposal announces the Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks as a proposed nomination by the United States to the World Heritage List. Ohio Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks are being nominated for inscription on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The Hopewell sites, including all 6 of the park sites, may be joining other World Heritage sites soon, such as the Grand Canyon, the Pyramid Fields, Giza, Dashur, Machu Picchu, and several others. Delegates are meeting in Saudi Arabia to review all nominations. Still ahead, negotiations continue as the government tries to avoid a shutdown. And a U.S. deal with Iran is bringing home 5 wrongfully detained Americans.
High pressure is here to stay this week. How that'll affect your weather and more when Newswatch returns.
Evolution Earth, heat. As temperatures rise, animals are responding. Doing things never filmed before. Out there, things aren't what you expect. You'll see.
Wednesday at 10 on WOUB.
Beneath the streets of London, a massive construction project is underway.
Crossrail, a huge new railway for London.
How do engineers tackle such an immense challenge?
Everything has to work perfectly.
We're never complacent because that's the day it goes wrong. Wow, wow, wow. That looks fantastic.
London Supertunnel on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
What's up, Gridiron Nation? You can catch our weekly previews of all of our Showtime games throughout the season. Pre-game huddle can be found on Gridiron Glory's Twitter and Facebook accounts. And you can check all of our written content at WOUB.org.
Once you get all those previews, don't forget to tune in to Gridiron Glory every Friday night at 11:30 p.m. for the breakdown of all those games live on WOUB and the WOUB YouTube channel. We can't wait to see you there. Until then, remember, there is nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow Vintage Spokane Hour 1, we take a look back to revisit some of our favorite treasures from the Pacific Northwest.
There's nothing wrong with this piece at all. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, that's very nice.
Holy Toledo! Woohoo! Find out which values have held strong and which have headed south. Next time on Antiques Roadshow Vintage Spokane Hour 1.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
The United Auto Workers' historic strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis has entered its 4th day, with still no deal in sight. Negotiations floundered over the weekend. Mike Valerio takes a look at where things stand.
Weekend negotiations saw little progress between the United Auto Workers and the big three automakers.
We still have a long way to go.
While the strike remains targeted at one plant for each company, the union warns it could intensify efforts this week if its demands are not met.
We'll see how things progress the next few days, and if we have to amp up pressure, that's what we're going to do.
Top of the list for workers, an immediate 20% raise, followed by 4 additional 5% raises over the 4-year deal. All 3 companies have countered with a 20% raise during the life of the contract with an immediate 10%.
We gave up a lot in 2008 to help Ford out during the recession. We didn't get any raises for 3 contracts. So it's time for us to get something.
Analysts say the U.S. economy is getting bruised, but the strike's impact isn't likely to push the nation into a recession.
It would depend very much on how long the strike lasts and exactly who's affected by it.
The spillover is already impacting non-striking workers, with both GM and Ford announcing temporary layoffs on Friday. Suppliers working with the big 3 could also face layoffs soon. Impacted states like Michigan will see a decrease in tax revenue, and buying a car could get more expensive.
It's not that we're going to wreck the economy. We're going to wreck their economy, the economy that only works for the billionaire class.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Across the country in California, strikes continue for the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. The WGA confirmed they plan to head back to the negotiation table today after little success from their August meeting. The members continue their strike demanding better wages, regulations on AI, and more. The agenda for this next meeting, streaming residuals and a proposal for a mandatory staffing level in TV writers' rooms. While these strikes continue, a potential government shutdown is getting closer by the minute. With less than 2 weeks left to try and prevent doors from closing, a group of House Republicans came to terms on a short-term funding bill. But nothing is set in stone. 6 Republican members of the House closed a deal yesterday on a short-term spending plan they hope will prevent a shutdown. But some House conservatives are already giving the agreement a thumbs down.
I strongly support their effort to stand firm and demand the kind of budget cuts necessary to make a small down payment on fiscal responsibility and reform.
We're going to be rational, responsible, and reasonable. We want to be able to fund government. But you know what? We want to curb the wasteful spending.
If the House approves the bill, it will likely be squashed by the Democratic-led Senate, which means Congress wouldn't be closer to preventing a potential shutdown.
Good evening. Behind me, we are taking a look at the beautiful Athens campus. We've seen a lot of people walking around, a lot of activity, really just enjoying this 71-degree weather. Now, we've also seen a couple of overcast skies today, also the sun poking out. So a little bit off and on with that cloudy weather, things cooling down, starting to feel like fall. Yesterday, early morning, we had this cold front move through, which provided that rainy morning into the afternoon for us and left us with a lot of cloud coverage. But fortunately for us, that's not here to stay for very long. We have some high pressure that's beginning to make its way towards the south from up here in Canada. Now, I may also notice out toward the west, we see a developing warm front, but that's not going to hit us. As we continue to move throughout the rest of this week, this warm front's going to continue to stay out to the west, and that high pressure is going to continue to dominate the area, leaving us with these comfortable 70-degree weathers, even pushing us up to the 80 a little bit, as those skies are going to remain clear from that cloud coverage. Today overall we saw a high of about 73, so pretty warm day today with partly sunny skies. Now tonight it's going to get pretty chilly. We're expecting an overnight low of about 47 with mostly clear skies. Now the main reason we're seeing such a big difference between our daytime temperatures and our overnight temperatures is because we're missing that layer of cloud that acts as an insulation layer. So during the daytime we have a lot of radiation coming in from the sun that's really warming everything up, so leaving us with a nice enjoyable 70s, 80s feels like temperature. But overnight all of that sunshine and all of that warmth goes goes away, and those clouds just allow for those beautiful night skies. So we see a lot of sunshine, we see that moon, but it also leaves us with pretty cool conditions. So tomorrow we'll see a very similar day to today. Sunny skies, we'll have that warm daytime temperature, but overnight back down to about 49, and we're going to continue to see this high pressure really dominate the area. So that cold front continues to push out towards the east, putting a lot of rain up on our friends in New England, especially after Hurricane Lee. So really hoping this rain doesn't impact them too hard. But for us here in Athens, that high pressure is going to continue to move through tomorrow, especially into tomorrow night. So that's really just going to stay there. We might even see a couple clouds pop up from this little small cloud band that's moving up from this warm front on Wednesday, but that's not going to produce any rain. So we are in for another beautiful week, and especially out to the west, we see just a big mess of low pressures and warm fronts going on, but that high pressure is really going to continue to dominate throughout the rest of this week. Like I said, tomorrow, Tuesday, is looking like a beautiful day. Those mostly sunny skies. On Wednesday, still mostly sunny skies, and we see a little bit of an increase in temperature going up to the 80s, and that's because we don't have that cloud that's allowing for all that daytime heating to occur, and that's going to continue on moving throughout this week. So Thursday, we're going to see partly sunny skies. There's that little pocket of cloud coverage that we were looking at on Wednesday moving in, and we're going to see a high of 81, and we're going to have those overnight conditions back down into the mid 50s, and those Thursday conditions are going to be very similar to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we'll see things cool off a little bit as another cold front starts to make its way in, but that won't have too much of an impact on us, and once again, it's still too early to tell exactly what's going to happen this weekend. Back over to you, Reese.
Thanks, Emily. 5 Americans imprisoned in Iran for years are on their way home as part of a prisoner release deal with Tehran, the capital of Iran. In return, 5 Iranians held in U.S. custody will be released back to officials in Tehran. It's the accumulation of a long negotiated agreement between the two countries. The 5 Americans wrongfully detained took their first steps of freedom in Qatar this morning as part of a wider deal between Iran and the U.S. The U.S. also unfreezed $6 billion in Iranian funds. President Joe Biden's administration announced new sanctions against Iran designed to punish those responsible for holding Americans captive. The administration also celebrated the release.
Our fellow citizens are free after enduring something that I think it would be difficult for any of us to imagine, that their families will soon have them back among them.
Relations between the U.S. and Iran plummeted under the Trump administration when the U.S. withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal and pursued a maximum pressure approach to Tehran. In the years since, efforts to constrain Iran's growing nuclear program has been unsuccessful. Some Republican lawmakers abolished the Biden administration over the detainees' release, saying this will only encourage the Tehran. Shin splints can be very painful. The leg pain is caused by repetitive stress on the shin bone. These often happen to people who run, dance, or anyone who switches up a training routine. Amanda Gaither has more on how to help prevent shin splints in young athletes.
It's a common condition for athletes who overwork their lower legs. Shin splints are painful and need to be treated quickly.
You could potentially make it worse by trying to push through it.
Dr. Matthew Vosters with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says shin splints are preventable, and if you're returning to a sport after time off or trying to increase the intensity or vary your workout, take it slow.
We want to see like gradual increases in that activity level, typically on the range of like 10 to 15%, just to ensure that you're not pushing that too hard, too fast.
Other key prevention steps: strengthening and stretching your legs, running on soft surfaces like a track or trail rather than cement, taking rest days to give your legs a break, and wearing proper footwear, replacing shoes every 350 to 500 miles. The footwear should have padding and good arch support. If you have flat feet, Voster says to make sure you wear insoles.
It kind of decreases that impact that eventually drives to developing shin splints.
If you experience pain that becomes more localized and doesn't go away, it may be time to seek professional treatment.
If you are putting yourself in a situation where it's just getting progressively worse, then that would really be like a big flag to come and see a doctor.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Vosters says resting your body is not only a preventative tip, but also part of the treatment plan for shin splints.
Coming up in sport,
Coming up in sports, one of Ohio's own takes home Co-Mac East Player of the Week after an impressive performance against Iowa State. And for the latest on for Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Get out! On Finding Your Roots, Cyndi Lauper discovers a rebel.
I know I'm always fighting the man. Now I know where it comes from.
Jamie Chung's ancestor is honored.
No way. That's my cousin.
Yeah. And Danny Trejo's relatives journey to America.
I've got history.
And Danny, they were on foot, man.
That's heavy.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
Something's in the air, I hold my breath.
What you're doing is incredible. I'm so proud of you.
With 1 foot off the edge, I take a step. The moment's come, now is the chance.
I believe this is going to be your journey.
We are co-authors with the world around us.
Looking for me?
We've been here, and without us, there is no United States.
It's all about storytelling.
That's beautiful.
It's starting now.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton Brooker. After Ohio Bobcats' performance over the weekend, Co-Mac East Player of the Week is awarded to linebacker Bryce Houston. Houston had a lights-out performance on Saturday, tallying a total of 15 tackles, with 5 of them from him alone. So far this season, Bryce is currently leading the MAC in total tackles with 43, which currently sits as the 4th best in the entire country. Bryce has been a standout on the Bobcats defense as he's been on the roster since 2018 and has been established as one of the team captains. Head coach Tim Albin said earlier today that Bryce has been working nonstop in his conditioning throughout the offseason and is proud of his performance with the win against the Cyclones.
Made a huge jump in his strength numbers. He's already a strong guy, but he was moving some weight and kept his speed, and I'm just happy for him. And I'm looking forward to patting him on the back this afternoon.
Going back towards this historic 10-7 win on Saturday, there's a lot of things to note on this win. For the Bobcats, this is the first time since 2006 that the Ohio defense has allowed only 3 total touchdowns in 3 straight games. Also, the Bobcats have only allowed a total of 47 total points in their first 4 games, which is the lowest total since all the way back in 1979. For Ohio, this win over a Power 5 school is the first since beating Kansas since 2017, putting the Bobcats at great momentum boost right before they begin MAC play. Linebacker Bryce Houston says that this win lets the nation know who they are as a program and how they're showcased on the field and their defense taking over.
It just lets kind of the world know what we're capable of. We always knew how successful this defense could be and how well we could play if we just play together. So it just kind of all came on display today, and people were able to see that.
The Bobcats hope to use this momentum as they begin MAC conference play this Saturday as they travel to take on Bowling Green to take on the Falcons. And finally, in volleyball, the Bobcats would fall short in their trip to Ames, Iowa. Ohio would unfortunately lose their 3 games against the Cyclones in the Cyclone Invitational. The Bobcats' closest game over in their 3 games against the Drake Bulldogs, as they only lose by 1 set. Caitlin O'Farrell would be the kills leader for the Bobcats, as she would rake up a total of 23 kills in the close loss. Ohio hopes to turn things around this week as they hope to return to the Convo as they take on the Akron Zips in a 2-game series starting Friday.
Still to come, why jewelers predict engagements will be on the rise this fall. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
over 200 local newsrooms, over 3,600 journalists, a community of 300 million Americans. The NPR network is listener-supported, independent journalism in communities around the country. It amplifies more voices, more Americas, and takes all of us on new journeys. It takes all of us closer to home. It takes all of us.
Did you know that local laws and regulations determine how your estate will be distributed if you don't have a will? Nearly 70% of American adults have incomplete estate plans, and thousands face this problem every day. This season is the perfect time to build out your estate plan and protect the people and programming you care about. Estate planning can seem like a lot to tackle, which is why WOUB Public Media is sharing Free Will, self-help estate planning resources that have empowered more than 350,000 Americans to plan for their futures. An estate plan can help you protect the family, friends, and pets you care most about, plan beneficiaries for your assets, and create a powerful legacy that supports your favorite broadcasting for years to come. To learn more and get started, I invite you to visit freewill.com/WOUB.
What's up, Gridiron Nation? You can catch our weekly previews of all of our Showtime games throughout the season. Pre-game Huddle can be found on Gridiron Glory's Twitter and Facebook accounts. And you can check all of our written content at WOUB.org.
Once you get all those previews, don't forget to tune in to Gridiron Glory every Friday night at 11:30 p.m. for the breakdown of all those games live on WOUB and the WOUB YouTube channel. We can't wait to see you there. Until then, remember, there is nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
And finally tonight, love is in the air and so are proposals. A post-pandemic spike in proposals is expected by the biggest jewelry company in the U.S. Signet Jewelers, the parent company of Zales, Jared K. Jewelers, Blue Nile, and Diamonds Direct, says the pandemic's impact on dating caused an all-time low in engagements. Now with the pandemic in the rearview mirror, the jeweler predicts a whopping 2.5 million couples to pop the question in the next year. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not planning on getting married anytime soon, so love is not in the air for me.
I mean, I agree with you, Reese. It's not in my opinion either.
But for people that love is in the air, is this a good time to pop the question looking into this week?
Yeah, if you're looking for some comfortable weather, if we take a look at what's going on tonight, if you're looking for a cooler weather proposal, tonight might be your night. If you're looking for those nice constellations, it's going to be mostly clear out with a low of 47, so those clouds are going to start to go away. And tomorrow, if you're looking for a nice sunny day to pop that question, we're looking for a high of about 75, so pretty comfortable, so you won't be too hot popping that question with mostly sunny skies and another overnight low of 49. Now, the main reason we're seeing the conditions that we are is we have some high pressure that's going to be hanging around our area for quite a while. This has been coming in from Canada, and it's going to stay here for the rest of this week, so looking into Wednesday as well, that high pressure is here to stay. Wednesday night into Thursday, you might see a little bit of cloud coverage. As you can see out to the west near Chicago area, those clouds might pop in ever so slightly, but for the most part, they aren't really going to produce any rain. We just might look at some brief cloud coverage, and the rest of this week, things are going to warm up since we have that high pressure clearing out all those clouds, allowing for all that sunshine and all that warmth to come in and really enjoy this week. So we're going to have a high of about 82 on Thursday and a high of 82 on Friday as well. And those overnight conditions are going to be back into the 50s, and looking at this upcoming weekend, things are going to cool down just a little bit.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Peyton Brooker and Emily Dietz, I'm Reese Thompson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Buckeye Hills Regional Council and Broadband Ohio, announcing the Affordable Connectivity Program, providing lower-cost internet for qualifying households. Information and